Hey guys, it's Iceman and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. This time getting into a weapon that came out with vaulted glass that had a lot of hype around it for a while, and that is the shotgun aggressive frame 55 RPM found verdict. And the hype that started was more around it being a potential replacement for Fellwinters in PvP, knowing that it could roll slide shot and opening shot and it's an aggressive frame and all that good stuff. But that's not what this video is going to be about. This video is going to be about how it fits into PvE, and I think that there's a role on it that is going to fly under the radar for a little while, and it's something that through testing, I have absolutely loved, and I wanted to share with y'all as soon as I could. And that role that I got is Rewind Rounds and 1-2 Punch. Rewind Rounds is a new perk that just got brought to us with the vaulted glass weapons, and what it does is it refills your magazine based on the amount of hits that you got. And through a lot of testing on different weapons, including found verdict, it only brings back 50% of your mag if you hit the majority, if not all of your shots. So you can see on my found verdict here, I have 6 bullets in my mag. If I hit all of them, it'll give me 3 back. If I hit all of those 3, it'll give me 1 back for a total of 10 in the magazine. So on paper, that sounds really, really good. And it is through a lot of play testing. Having effectively 10 rounds in your magazine, especially for something where you want to sustain with 1-2 punch, Rewind Rounds is amazing. And that said, there's 2 1-2 punch builds that have typically been used in the past. One of them is on a Titan using Syntheseps and Bottom Tree Striker with Frontal Assault, Knockout, that kind of thing. But the one that we're going to focus on for the video is the Hunter one, since I'm a Hunter main, with Liar's Handshake and Combination Blow. And if you look at Liar's Handshake, it says using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. And don't get me wrong, this is extremely strong for 2 different reasons. The very end, it says it'll heal you. So when you punch and then you punch again, you'll stab the target and you'll activate cross counter and it'll heal you for a significant amount of health. It doesn't full heal you, but it gets you very, very close. So while you're up close and personal with a big ad, an ultra, a boss, something like that, and you're trying to 1-2 punch, they're obviously going to be trying to stomp you. They'll be shooting you, dealing a lot of damage to you. So having that healing allows you to sustain through a lot of engagements, especially if you're playing solo. The second part of that says it's an extremely powerful melee. And they're not kidding when they say extremely powerful. With cross counter, it increases your damage through a lot of other people's testing and numbers and that kind of thing. It increases your damage by 3 times, which is a lot. And then 1-2 punch increases damage depending on the target. There was some variance in testing by 4.5 or 6 times damage. And if you think about that, those numbers alone are very high, but when you put them together, they go together multiplicatively and end up being a 13.5 times multiplier, which is crazy for just having 1-2 punch and cross counter up. And when I say 1-2 punch and cross counter, what typically happens in your damage rotation is you shoot your shotgun, 1-2 punch will come up, you'll punch normally for that 4.5 times increase in damage, and then your second punch, you'll still have 1-2 punch active if you do it fast enough, and then it will activate cross counter at the same time, so you'll get that 13.5 times damage increase. So that's really where the big damage happens, is in that second punch after a shot. So you shoot, punch, punch, shoot, punch, punch, shoot, punch, punch. And the other big piece behind this, and it's another damage perk that only resides on Arc Strider Hunter top tree, is Combination Blow. And what that reads is killing an enemy with this melee ability triggers health regeneration, so you get another source of health regen to sustain, especially if you're trying to clear ads, and increases your melee damage temporarily, stacks up to 3 times. And this damage increase goes from 1.6 times damage to 2.2 to 2.8. And again, this is a different damage source, so it goes in multiplicatively into that damage equation, which results in crazy amounts of damage. And how this works to stack it up is you have your melee ability on, you kill an ad, and then you get 1 stack. You use your Gambler's Dodge near an enemy to get your melee back, you melee again, and then Combat Flow recharges your dodge ability when you get a melee kill. So these go hand in hand, where you just dodge, melee kill, dodge, melee kill, dodge, melee kill to have 3 stacks of Combination Blow up. And once you get 3 stacks up, you'll notice they're up for 20 seconds, which is a really long amount of time to do damage with those. And if you need to refresh it, say it gets down to 2 seconds, you're getting really low, you typically want to have a small ad nearby, a red bar that you can easily kill with your melee ability up to melee kill them, and that refreshes your timer back to 20 with 3 stacks. You don't have to start over unless you lose your timer in general. Then you have to go 1, 2, 3 again. So you can just imagine already, and that's kind of the base 1-2 punch build that we've had for a long time of how much damage this can do. But in Season of the Splicer, when this video's out, there is a new damage perk that comes on the artifact called Breach and Clear. And Breach and Clear is pretty much used by every single team and almost every single loadout right now, because it says when using a grenade launcher, damaging a boss, a champion, or breaking a combatant's shields reloads your stowed weapons and causes the combatant to take increased damage for a short duration. The reload is nice, but it's not essential. And our build is pretty cool because once you're out of those 10 shots, all you have to do is hit the boss with Anarchy and it automatically reloads your shotgun so you can start going again instead of having to reload. But the big part behind this is the increase in damage, and that percentage is 30%, which is a very, very high damage increase, which only has been rivaled by Tractor Cannon. In the past, this build has used Tractor Cannon, where you shoot a shot of Tractor at an enemy, and then you start 1-2 punching, you reapply Tractor after it falls off after a few seconds, and you keep going that way. That's okay, but what Anarchy does is damage over time. So while you're doing your 1-2 punching damage, Anarchy will still be ticking damage at that 30% increase. And then at the same time, that 30% will apply to your 1-2 punching. And you can keep reapplying that over and over and over again when your Anarchy falls off. So when you put all these pieces together, that's a very high amount of damage that's sustainable over a very long period of time in solo or team play. And if you do bring this into a team environment, a lot of times you're going to be running with a Warlock that can use a well, a Titan that can use a bubble, something they can place down right on top of you where you're going to be doing damage, and you can stand in that, and it just exponentially increases your survivability on top of what you already have. So this build can be used in a solo environment. You'll see in some of the gameplay right after this. I go through a legendary lost sector, and solo, it does a ton for you. You can one-shot champions, 1 or 2 shots. So essentially, when you're hitting a champion, they're not going to be able to trigger their overload health regen. They're not going to be able to put up their barrier because you're doing so much damage so quickly. You're erasing them before they can even trigger what they're supposed to do. So you don't have to bring in your overload rounds, your barrier rounds, anything like that. All you have to do is play pretty smart. Make sure that you're not taking a lot of damage before getting to the champion, or you're able to bait them to you and then just deleting them from the game. So that is the 1-2 God build with the newfound verdict, rewind rounds, a 1-2 punch shotgun roll. Let me know what you think in the comments below, if you've gotten this roll, if you've tried it, what your thoughts are. But it just made me very excited to see 1-2 punch as something that might be viable again, because it was one of my favorites. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It helps out so much. And if you would like to discuss this build, any other theory crafting, any other new weapon rolls from VOG that you're excited about and you've tried, feel free to stop by my channel at Iceman1H. We do all kinds of different FPS RPG games. We play a ton of Destiny and discuss all kinds of different theory crafting related things. So we'd love to see you there. And with that, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Enjoy the gameplay. Peace.